Hey, what's up, future and everyone else? My name is George, and this is chapter. Um, I'm not sure really what to call it, but right now, today, uh, in the current moments of my life, I'm going through quite a bit, but it's not. And I mean, I don't want to downplay it. It's very stressful. I'm pretty stressed. But it's not like I'm not capable of conquering this stuff. Um, so I got sued by a second debt collector, not just one. I got sued one time, um, first time in October, and the second time it's actually today, January 31st. And I didn't go to court to either one of them. And that's kind of partially for two reasons. Um, One reason is that, these are consequences of my actions, and I'm hoping that with these consequences, I can go through it and I can learn that my decisions do affect me in crucial ways and sometimes not so crucial, but these financial decisions that I made in the moment where I think it's a good decision, um, you know, acquiring credit cards that exceed my income limit and something that I can't afford. So, with Discover, Discover credit card, you know, I applied for an in-home sales position where I thought I would be making a good amount of money. So when I started that position, it was 2 hours away from where I lived, and I was thinking, well, once I start making money, I can relocate. So when I applied, I was driving from my home to my work, which again is 2 hours away, and I said, okay, well, let me apply for a credit card so I could stay at some hotels. That way I don't have to drive back and forth every day of my work day. So I ended up doing that. I got approved with my potential income um, at that new job, which was putting me at pretty much about six figures. That's, on Indeed, they tell us like, oh, this is the potential income that you can be earning in your first year. So I put somewhere around those numbers, got approved for a $3,000 credit card, and applied for another credit card, and also yeah. So my credit was going up and all that stuff. I was taking better care of it than I was in the past, and I was feeling really good about life. I was like, I'm gonna be making this much money and all this stuff, and you know, I'm young and I'm living on my own. I'm doing things. I'm being independent, at least a lot more than I am used to, because I'm a very codependent type of person. But I would like to say that I'm pretty well balanced between independent and codependent. I lean towards more stubbornness, trying to do things on my own, and unless I actually absolutely need it. So, yeah, I ended up getting laid off about 3 weeks in. I guess I just didn't make the cut. I think the reason of termination was unstable emotionally or something like that. Like I get too emotional in a sales position, which is valid. Especially with high ticket sales, you have to be able to be solid. It's very cutthroat, and I see God's rejection as God protection, because 3 years later, yeah, I got sued by a debt collector twice, and one was through Discover, the other one was, I don't know what this other one was. I think it was with a credit card. with a credit card that I also, the second credit card that I applied there that had a high limit. So yeah. So 3 years later, um, I have been working at my job for my current job, which I love and I want to retire there. However, they don't pay they don't pay a high hourly rate. Um, you know, making almost 15 bucks an hour, but I would say my overall satisfaction is very high. So it comes to a point where I have to sacrifice, you know, my my happiness and then my quality of life, I would say, because now I'm just living not even just check to check, but I'm living with stress, and I'm like, so, anyways, I am in my old apartment. Well, it's still my apartment for today because it's the 31st, and I am in the process of moving out. I got most things done. I'll give you a little tour real fast before I get comfortable. So, this is the doorway, the entryway. It has a nice pan, uh, has a nice little section here. Used it a little bit for my shoes and all that stuff. This I kind of put just like a storage part here. Then they got like a coat hanger and all that stuff. Then you got the kitchen. So right when you walk in, you walk into the kitchen, and then you got the fridge and all that fun stuff. There's a lot of cabinets, I think, for this size apartment because it's not very big. I would say maybe about 500 square feet. Lived here for about a year and a half, and now I gotta go. Um, so this was my little room. I loved it. Most of the time, I slept in the living room, and it was pretty chill. I don't know why. I was trying to make this room to an office so I could do more videos, but I guess I never figured out what type of videos I wanted to make. So it's just like, ugh, whatever. And then the bathroom is inside the room. I kind of like that with a pretty decent little shower here. So, not too bad. Cute, little, whatever. But yeah, so luckily for me, I didn't find a roommate, but one of my coworkers offered for me to be able to room with him, and I'll be paying a little bit less than I was paying here, which is great. And I'll be able to continue working at the company that I'm currently working with. And to me, like I said, I want to retire with this company. And in 17 years, I hope to say that that was something that I was able to accomplish. They offer amazing benefits, not just the norm of just, health insurance and 401k, et cetera, but it's something that me and my education level is pretty grateful for. I just want to do a little inspiration message. It's that God's rejection is God's protection. Yeah, like sometimes things really don't work out because there's something better in store for you, something for you to optimize, and something where it's like, if you go down this path, yeah, you'll be happy in one way, but in long-term way, it leads to a dead end. And then once you get there, it's going to take more work to get out. So kind of with this like credit card situation, it made me realize, like, what if I was making six figures and then I was applying for multiple credit cards and taking out multiple loans, because that's something in my life is normal. like taking out loans, applying for credit cards, and honestly, I don't have the right mindset and the right way to know how to budget uh, responsibly to handle that load of money, at least in that time of age. And I would still say currently, I don't know. And I'm hoping that these experiences that I'm going through and the consequences that I'm facing, now my paycheck is being garnished, and I have a current loan that I've taken out. And the cool part is I've been paying that off. I've been paying that on time, which I know for a lot of people, like that's just what's expected. But for me, it's an improvement. I have had loans where I have not paid them on time, and I think that's a lot due to job security. You know, there's been jobs, this job that I've been working, it's my longest position held, and I've been there for over 2 years. And for me, that's a great accomplishment. And I just hope that like I don't jinx myself in certain ways, because I'm just like, right now it's going good, and then what if something happens? But I'm pretty determined. I'm gonna do what it takes. I mean, I gave up my apartment to stay at my job because it's like I could have quit my job and found another job that's higher pay, but the job security may not have lasted as long. And I don't want to keep job jumping. Like, I now realize that once you have the skill, regardless if it's in sales, if it's in plumbing, if it's in, you know, mechanic, if it's in manufacturing, if it's in management, if it's in psychology, if it's in teaching, it's like it's great to just continue on sharpening those skills rather than, you know, it's like you pick up a color pencil and you're like trying all these different colors, and then you find one that you really like, and then you learn how to keep it sharp, learn how to keep it sharpened. You learn how to be better and do better, and then you get higher skills um, that are in demand in that field. And yeah, it's, I think, a good way to put it for me. And but again, I am still pretty stressed. I am like literally going, you know, calculating numbers. My calculator's always up. I'm unorganized with my bills and where my money is going, how I'm spending it. I don't look over my statements every month. Like, these are things that I didn't realize how important they are to do. Is like, if you want to, you have to understand where your money is going and not just how much money you're making and then your basic expenses. Like, you have to understand, what are you spending? Me, I spend it a lot on food, and not grocery food like fast food, or I've been getting better with that stuff, because again, with new information comes new decisions, and I'm starting to realize that, yeah, I have to make the internal changes, and I'm just documenting these changes because I just feel like I've been at a low point for so long, and it's just a never ending cycle. But I totally understand that these cycles only continue because my patterns are continuing, my behaviors are continuing. And until I make these changes, then no different outcome is going to come. And sometimes it's not even these big major changes, it's these little tweaks, these little changes, these little perspectives, these little pieces that do a significant amount of change. There was this one time, I was probably in 10th grade, where a friend of mine put how small things play such a big role. You know, the little lock on your doorknob that literally locks the whole door, right? That doorknob is what keeps the door locked from opening, from intruders. And just, you know, it's just a small little piece that you just turn to the left, or turn to the right, or you can use the bolt. But what I'm trying to say is that little piece is significant. It plays a big role in the whole door, in the whole doorway. You know, it's not the big door that keeps the door locked. It's not the freaking the walls. It's not. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to put in perspective. It's like, dude, if you're going through something that's like continuous and you can't see why your life continues to go on this, and this has to play a part in multiple different aspects, relationship, the type of people that you decide to date, that you know, your health, your finances, and I don't know. I think it's just a cool thought to share because it might be useful for some. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. That's all for today.